We all have secrets. What is yours? Silent Secrets Audio. Confess in the comments.
The first time I saw my own truck ahead of me, I assumed the snow was playing tricks with the headlights. I was working winter road maintenance outside Flin Flon, near the Manitoba, Saskatchewan line. Our crew handled a network of access roads used by hydro contractors, mining suppliers, and emergency services. Most of them weren't shown on public maps. Some were barely roads at all, just numbered cuts through muskeg and black spruce. That night, I was checking reflective markers after freezing rain. It was just past 1 in the morning, -23, with loose snow blowing sideways across the road. About half a kilometer ahead, I could see an amber light bar flashing through the trees. Same pattern as mine. 2 quick flashes, a pause, then 2 more. I called our dispatcher and asked who else had been sent to Route 16. She said nobody. I gave her the unit number painted on the back of the truck ahead of me. 417. There was a pause. Then she told me I was driving Unit 417. I already knew that. I slowed down, expecting the other vehicle to turn off or stop. Instead, it stayed just far enough ahead that I couldn't make out the driver. Every time I gained on it, the snow thickened between us. Dispatch suggested I might be seeing my own lights reflected off an ice haze. That explanation almost worked until the truck reached an intersection and turned left. My GPS showed no road there. I stopped at the junction. The left side looked like undisturbed snow between the trees, but there were fresh tire tracks crossing the ditch. The tracks matched our winter tires. I reported them and was told to continue my assigned inspection. The dispatcher sounded irritated now, which was unusual. We were expected to report anything that could indicate unauthorized industrial traffic. I drove another 4 kilometers before I found the first problem. Marker posts had been removed from both sides of the road. Not knocked over, removed cleanly, including the metal anchors. A little farther on, someone had covered a warning sign with a black plastic bag. The sign marked a bridge with a reduced weight limit. I got out to remove the bag. While I was cutting the tape, I heard a diesel engine idling somewhere beyond the trees. There was no visible access road. I switched off my own truck and listened. The engine stopped at the same time. I went back inside and called dispatch again. This time, a man answered. He identified himself as the night supervisor, but I knew our supervisor was home recovering from shoulder surgery. When I asked for his name, he told me radio traffic was being recorded and ordered me to clear the channel. Then he said something that made me check my doors. He told me not to follow Unit 417. I asked how he knew I had seen it. The radio went silent. I tried calling the main maintenance yard using my phone, but I had no signal. That wasn't unusual out there, so I turned around and started back toward the highway. The tire tracks at the unmarked intersection were gone. Fresh snow can fill tracks quickly, but not that quickly. Less than 15 minutes had passed, and the wind was crossing the road, not following it. When I reached the bridge, I noticed the black plastic bag was back over the warning sign. I didn't stop. Halfway across, I felt the rear of my truck drop slightly. There there was a deep metallic crack underneath me. The bridge deck had been partly dismantled. 2 steel plates had been removed, leaving gaps hidden under packed snow. I kept moving and made it across, but one rear tire was losing pressure. The truck began pulling hard to the right. That was when the amber lights appeared behind me. The other vehicle came around the bend without headlights, only the roof bar flashing. I could finally see enough of it to know it was one of ours. Same white cab, same municipal markings, same salt spreader. The unit number on the front bumper was 417. I radioed that I was being followed. The woman dispatcher came back on. She sounded frightened and asked where I was. Before I could answer, the man's voice cut across hers and said, "He's already at the bridge." Not approaching it, at it. The truck behind me accelerated. My damaged tire was nearly flat, so I couldn't outrun it. I switched on every work light I had and stopped across the narrowest section of road. The other truck stopped about 30 meters away. For nearly a minute, neither of us moved. Then the driver's door opened. Someone stepped down wearing the same reflective orange jacket issued to our crew. He stayed behind the door, with his face hidden. He raised a handheld radio. My dashboard radio transmitted his voice before I saw him speak. "Turn your lights off." I didn't. I locked the differential and drove on the flat tire until the wheel rim started throwing sparks. The truck behind me followed for another kilometer, then suddenly turned into the trees where no road existed. I reached the highway 40 minutes later. The RCMP inspected the bridge and found evidence that someone had deliberately removed the steel plates. They also found an illegal fuel transfer site concealed along an old hydro cut. Several tanks, pumps, and a portable radio repeater had been abandoned. The investigation never connected anyone to our maintenance department. What bothered me was the truck. Our yard inventory showed only one unit 417, and I had been driving it all night. 2 months later, while mine was in the shop for repairs, a mechanic found a second ignition key taped beneath the chassis. It wasn't cut for my truck. The tag attached to it was labeled 417.